So I kind of just got kicked off, but I am back now, and I was just talking to somebody that is pretty close to me. Check this area out. I like this. This is where the dining area is at. I was talking to somebody who I've known for a while, since we were like kids. And we actually went to elementary school together. We went to high school together. And then after that, he went off to college. And college never really worked out for me, right? It just wasn't something that was my thing. And he was kind of frustrated with the whole fact that, you should have seen this area earlier. They had like the foam bubbles and everything going. So anyway, so he was kind of frustrated with the whole fact that he bought into the American dream of going to this area too, going to college, going to school, and then going to college, and then working and getting a good job. And he did all of that to the point where he got like multiple degrees, his master's, his PhDs, and he's still frustrated because he's not able to really make things work, right? And by that I mean he's limited in finances. You know, he says, Ty, how are you able to spend as much time with your family as you want? How are you able to travel? How are you able to, you know, choose whatever it is off the menu that you want, drive whatever type of car you want, live wherever it is that you want, vacation as often a year as you want, and no matter where you want to go. He was I could tell that he was asking out of genuine curiosity. He wasn't being envious or anything like that. He was kind of frustrated because he bought into this whole American dream of going to school, going to high school, going to college, right? And then going off and just doing your thing, right? Buying a house with the white picket. And I kind of had to explain to him that, you know, man, things have changed so much. I see a couple of people on here. Things have changed so much. Like that whole ideology that we bought into, and I'm probably screwing the word up, right? That's what happens when you don't go to college. But that whole idea of what we bought into, man, it is so antiquated, right? It is so outdated. It might have worked, and it barely worked for our parents. Think about it. And I'm not saying not to be grateful, right, for where you're at, but I'm also saying that there's always so much more for all of us. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be happy with where you're at, but what I am saying is that there's so many other ways to get to the point of where you want to be other than buying into the standard American dream that we were taught, which is go to school, go to college, then work at the same job, you know, get multiple degrees, work at the same job forever. One of those ways of doing it, I've met tons of people, lots and lots of hundreds of people, thousands probably, that have found out a new way of doing it. And that is doing something finding this thing that you like to do, right? Doing that, providing a service or a product in the form of a business. And if you guys already have a business, some of you might already have a business, but doing it to a degree where you really provide a lot of value to the people that are buying into your product or your service, all right? There's so many ways to get other people to provide for your lifestyle. If you have a product or a service that you know is genuinely good, right? Making it available. And then the next step is reaching as many people as possible, right? Reaching as many people as possible. So I think that is the new American dream. And it's one that anyone can really, it's one that anyone can accomplish. It doesn't matter if I know guys who literally have a 6th and 7th grade, you know, level of education, and they are killing it. They're making like millions of dollars. And then I see some folks who, and it doesn't apply to everyone, right, who have gone to college for 6, 7, 8 years and they're barely making it. Or they're doing things in industries that they hate. Like they're doing something that they really, really hate. Like that's not fair right there, right? So now, because of things like the internet and because of, you know, us now having the ability to reach multiple people at once, and like there not being any closure, meaning you're not just limited to your state or your country for that matter, right? There's so many ways for people to start a business, doing something that you love, And then now, because we now have global reach, making that product or that service available to just a ton of people and getting a lot of enjoyment out of that. And in return, right, because you're providing a good service, a good product, getting other people to pay for your lifestyle. Like, I've got this saying that I share a lot, and that's like, whenever I want something new, whenever I want a car, whenever I want to go on vacation, whenever I want to, whatever it might be something big or it might be something simple. I say, you know what, I'm going to get someone else to pay for it. I'm not going to pay for it. Even when I have the money, I'm not going to pay for it. I get someone else to pay for it by creating a product or a service that's good enough for people to want to go in and buy, right? So creating a product or a service that's good enough for people, and that's not the hard part. Like, that's actually the easiest part. So creating something that's good enough for people to go in and buy, and then selling that so that other people get to provide for the lifestyle and pay for the lifestyle that I want, right? Pay for it. It's if you think about it, it's really a simple formula, right? Zig Ziglar used to talk about this back in the days. The great Zig Ziglar, he used to say, you know, if you help enough people get what they want, you can in turn get what you want. If you help enough people to get what they want, right, you can in turn get anything that you want. Like, does that make sense? If that makes sense, as simple as that is, put a yes in the comments right now, if that makes sense, because I want to make sure that everyone gets that. Just give me a simple yes, Y-E-S, if that makes sense, right? Look at some examples of people that have done this. If you look at like Bill Gates with Microsoft, right, what he's done is he's created something that has helped a lot of people. It's helped tens of millions, hundreds of millions, maybe, right? Probably billions of people, right? He's helped them to get what they want, whether that's just leisure, right? Mark Zuckerberg is another one, Facebook, right? We're all on Facebook. He's created something that allows us to get what we want, and that is, whether it's entertainment, whether it's a dopamine hit, every time we post and someone comments or likes our post, right? If you look at the guy who owns a corner store, right? He's created something that we want. It allows us to go in and shop in his store, right, and purchase our goods. And as a result, what happens? He now creates an income stream for himself and his family, right? If you look at the person who might be selling T-shirts on Shopify, they might be selling mugs. They're doing the same thing. They've created something that there's a specific audience for, and those people want it. And in return, he now gets what? He gets cash, he gets revenue, and then he creates a lifestyle for him and his family. So it's a really, really simple model, man. So we have to get past, and again, it's not for everyone, but if you do feel like you're frustrated right now, as I was saying, I just had a talk with an old schoolmate of mine, guy who I went to, man, we went to elementary school together, we went to high school together, and then after high school, the whole college thing didn't really work out for me. He went off to college. He spent 6, 7, 8 years in college. He got his PhD, his master's, and everything else, and it just hasn't worked out for him. He's struggling. He's hurting to pay bills. He can barely afford, to provide his. He's got 3 children. He can barely afford to help his children. They can barely afford to go on vacation, right? And again, it's because we've been just really going off of this old, outdated way of doing things. So I hope that helps, and I hope you guys are having a good one. If you got value out of this, post it, share it. I am about to go in and get my wife and kids. We're going to go and grab something to eat. So remember, first step is to do something that you enjoy. It doesn't even have to be something that you immensely enjoy. It could be something that you just know